allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we please stand just for a few moments? I'd like to have a moment of silence for Joe Heaston. Joe was a member of the Traffic Safety Committee for, I would say, over 20-some years, and he passed away last Sunday, not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before. So if we could just have a moment of silence. Thank you. Okay, roll call.
Bunton.
Here.
Campbell.
Here.
Dempsey.
Yes, here.
Ford.
Yeah.
Fournier.
Here.
Crop.
Here.
Menzer.
Here.
Okay. Announcements, acknowledgements, and communications reports, including our quarterly department head reports. But before we start those, I have a presentation this evening for Lila and David Tercel. If you would come forward, please.
Lisa.
What's wrong? Okay. We'd like to give you a certificate of appreciation to acknowledge your generous donation of the Lucas 3.1 chest compression system to the Mount Clemens Fire Department. I, Barb Dempsey, Mayor of the City of Mount Clemens, on behalf of the City Commission and all of our citizens, present this certificate of appreciation to Mr. and Mrs. Tercel with our deepest gratitude for their significant contribution and generous support of our community. We truly appreciate it. All the residents, I'm sure, will really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So much. Okay, department head reports.
Start with Brian Tingley from Community Development.
In the first quarter of 2019, Community Development issued 283 building and other trade permits. There were 465 code enforcement cases open, 200 rental property inspections and baked-in property verifications were conducted. 97 properties received their rental certificate of compliance, and 13 new businesses and/or homes received their certificate of occupancy. This quarter, department staff attended meetings of the Planning Commission, DDA, Harbor Commission, Historical Commission, as well as the steering committee that was involved in the Art Space project. We worked with the DDA's grant writer on the submittal of a Michigan DNR Trust Fund grant for the reconstruction of Jones Street and MacArthur Park. Oversaw the public hearing and application processes for the city's 2019 CDBG applications, and we prepared amendments to the city's rental registration and inspection ordinance. That's it.
Any questions? Thank you.
Next, we'll have Human Resources.
Right, in the first quarter of 2019, the city ended with 66 total employees. That's 58 full-time and 8 part-time. We successfully onboarded 1 full-time maintenance worker and 2 part-time bus driver employees. Performed the end of employment paperwork for 2 full-time employees. We also processed 6 biweekly payrolls and 3 retiree payrolls. In January, we processed payroll data for nearly 300 W-2 and 1099-R statements and submitted the respective files to state and federal agencies. I also worked with our benefit advisors to prepare the 1095 year-end tax forms. We posted job openings for finance director, treasurer, part-time bus driver, mechanic 1, and seasonal laborers. We are currently accepting applications for our seasonal laborer program. We would prefer the candidates to be 18 years or older, but we are also accepting applications from 16 and 17-year-olds as well. They work in our utilities and public services department during the summer months, If you're interested in that position or want to check out any positions we've got open, please visit our website, www.cityofmountclemens.com, and click on the link for job opportunities. Just responded to a variety of miscellaneous items such as employment verifications, wage surveys, and other insurance questions, and prepared the Clementine's newsletter for the quarter that should have been distributed last week to the residents. Are there any questions?
Thank you.
Next, we have Lenny from the Water Filtration Plant.
At the water treatment plant, this quarter we treated and pumped 156 million gallons of drinking water. We completed the 2018 Consumer Confidence Report. We also completed the 2018 cross-connection surveys and submitted the report to the DEQ. Let's see, we started to inventory the pipe material of all water service lines in the city. And at the plant, we integrated all the old plant gauges into the SCADA system. That's it.
Questions? Thank you.
And Jay Pick from the Wastewater Treatment Plant.
Hello. The wastewater plant processed 377 million gallons of water this quarter. Kennedy Industries rebuilt the second of our 3 large influent pumps at the plant. UIS installed a new pressure transmitter that'll give us more accurate readings of the plant's influent wet well. The water and sewer crew completed 11 water main breaks this quarter and responded to 266 customer service requests. And the work has begun on our sand filter rehabilitation project. So we received about 90% of the parts required to complete the job, and crews have dismantled one of the filters already. So as of now, we're on pace to complete the job by the anticipated May 31st deadline. That's it.
Thank you.
And I see that the fire department's here. I don't know if someone's.
This is a little different. All right. Good evening. In the first quarter, we responded to 15 fire and explosion runs. I would assume mostly fire runs. We had 612 rescue calls, 16 hazardous conditions, 96 service calls, 55 good intent calls, 69 false alarms, and 4 other miscellaneous runs, for a total of 867 runs in the first 3 months. Compared to the other previous years, we are on a trend of steadily going up. 2017 first quarter was 722, and 2018 was 860, so we're just slightly ahead of 2018. During the month of January, we had multiple fire inspections, approximately 8 fire inspections with re-inspections and final inspections for those. Witnessed alarm tests amongst those, hydro tests, which are for sprinkler tests. Plan and reviews were done mostly for the county building. We have been getting in some new business with like the Plasma Center on Groesbeck and new businesses downtown on Macomb Street. Captains have attended the weekly department head meetings, and we've met with our local gear representative to research new gear for the future. We had a tour of the Cadillac Asphalt Center during January. We are expected to do training there in May. Tony Kirkham went to the RIT training committee meeting for the county. We had a monthly radio test, and we had PSA's public safety announcement for our smoke detector and CO program, and an interview with the Macomb Daily for smoke detectors. Similar in February, we had fire inspections and inspections, again, a lot of them in the county. Today was actually their final. They are actually done with their renovations over there at the county courthouse. Witnessed hydro tests, which are again for the sprinklers on North River Road, and we did again plan reviews for more businesses in the city. We had a meeting with our computer people that month for the county computer systems. Budget meetings were attended, and we accepted the donation for the Lucas 3.1 for Mr. and Mrs. Tercel. Thank you very much. Captains are in the blue card training. RIT training is going to commence in May. which was scheduled back in February, and we've been doing training for New World. We did some work at the station. We had the plumbing service there, washing machine repairs, and general annual maintenance, or generator maintenance on the generator behind the fire station. In March, again, fire inspections and final inspections. Captains did their weekly department head meetings and met with the rental inspectors over 1 North River Road, and we had a few tent inspections for St. Patrick's Day. Training going on. We are currently in March, we had EMS Rescue Task Force training, which is for county teams, fire officer training for the future officers of the department, and more blue card training. I believe Lieutenant Mosheri is going to that, and some more New World training. We're always upgrading that system. We attended the Elks Law and Order night, where 3 firefighters, Dave Busquino, Alex Zachow, and Nick Candela, received Firefighter of the Year awards through the Elks Club. And again, we still had some plumbing issues. The award that those 3 got was for smoke detectors, and if anybody is not aware, we had a rather major fire the other night. Just to reiterate, smoke detectors save lives. That was notifying everybody there. We still had a rescue of 8 people that night. And we would like to say that, you know, if you're a resident of the city, we have smoke detectors for you at the fire department. And thank you very much.
Questions? Commissioner Ford.
You have 65 false alarms. Are those residential?
69.
69, not all of. I did not put that report in, but I believe it is a mix. If you have a fire alarm and you have a false alarm, you will receive a bill for it after the first time.
Yeah, the false alarms are also, they're all false alarms. EMS could be a false medical alarm that somebody tripped accidentally.
Any other questions?
We don't break them down that way, but we could if you want, we could break them down.
No, I'm just curious. That's a lot of false alarms.
Yeah, a lot of them are medical, like the senior citizens high rises, they don't have a medical alarm unit in the bathroom and in the bedroom, and sometimes they go in there and they're cleaning or doing whatever, and they accidentally trip it, they don't know it. So it comes in as a medical alarm, we respond, we find out it's an accidental alarm.
Okay.
So that happens quite a bit.
Okay. Thank you.
Next, we have the clerk's office.
The city clerk's office is preparing to send out business registration renewal applications to over 500 businesses in Mount Clemens, along with all of the waste hauler and vending licenses in the city. This year, we will be inviting all of our local businesses to submit links to their web pages for any job openings that they may have, so that we can post them on the city's website and make them available to the residents here. With the passage of Proposal 3 at the November 2018 election, we will be sending out a mailing to educate our voters about the effects of this proposal and inform them further about no reason absentee voting and being added to our permanent absentee ballot list if they choose. With the expected increase in number of absentee voters, the clerk's office is investigating processes to aid our absent voter counting board to quickly and efficiently tabulate the increase in ballots. We will be attending training, train our workers, and design a training manual to prepare for these changes. Candidate packets for the November 5th, 2019 city election have been assembled and are available. Applications and petition forms are due to the city clerk's office no later than Tuesday, July 23rd at 4 p.m. We will be reviewing and processing the application materials as we receive them. In addition to answering several FOIA requests, the city clerk's office has been handling all inquiries pertaining to medical marijuana facility permits in the city, along with creating all of the documentation relating to it. We will create additional license forms and documents as needed and at the time of the annual renewal. Our City Commission Minute Book Preservation Project is continuing. Currently, the books containing the years of 1907 through 1930 are out for restoration. We continue to accept applications for appointments to boards, committees, and commissions. These positions are an excellent way to give back to the community. Vacancies remain on the following boards: Beautification Commission, Board of Zoning Appeals, Brownfield Redevelopment Authority, Historic Commission, Historic District Commission, Local Officers Compensation Commission, and the Traffic Safety Committee. That's all I have. Any questions?
Thank you.
And next, we have the Finance Department. And first, we'd like to welcome new Finance Director, Treasurer Cliff Mason to the City of Mount Clemens. And I'm going to help him out today, since today is his first day, and I'm going to do his quarterly report for him, so.
Oh, I think just give it to him.
During the last quarter, the Finance Department has sent out and processed payments of winter tax bills, held the Board of Review meetings on March 18th and March 19th to review property tax assessments, developed and prepared the fiscal year 2019-2020 budget, and I would like to thank all the department heads for their hard work in coming up with a balanced budget again for this year. Reviewed the proposed budget with the City Commission during the work session held April 8th, 2019. Proposed the scheduling of the budget public hearing for the City Commission meeting of Monday, May 6th, 2019, with the approval of the budget being requested at the Monday, May 20th City Commission meeting. Finalized an agreement with Invoice Cloud for online bill payments and utility records, which is set to begin at the end of June, where customers will be able to look up their utility bills, view history, make online payments, and sign up for paperless billing and auto pay with this service. And they have identified and mailed out letters per the parking ordinance notifying 16 additional people of their outstanding parking tickets with the city, and that if the tickets are not paid, their vehicle will be towed and impounded until payment is received. That's all I have for the Finance Department.
Questions? Thank you.
And during the last quarter, the Public Service Department has responded to 22 snow events through the months of January, February, and March. We have cleaned and put away all of the winter snow removal and salting equipment, met with the Beautification Committee representative, and will be assisting in the planting of a Regal Prince oak tree at Seminole School in observance of Arbor Day. We have begun the street sweeping program, met with the city's engineering contractor, and identified multiple locations of concrete and asphalt repairs for the street patching program. The construction and detour signs were posted in preparation of the Harrington Street Rehabilitation Project, which is scheduled to begin on April 22nd. And just a reminder that one lane will remain open and traffic will run westbound on Harrington through the entire project. With the city engineer, we have begun marking sidewalks for repair for the 2019 sidewalk program. Residents who have had their sidewalks marked will receive notification regarding the program by the end of April. We performed the monthly monitoring and a DEQ mandated dewatering event of the methane ventilation system. Issued over 1,300 parking citations, generating approximately $114,000 in meter revenue, which is up 5.8% from the last quarter. Submitted the quarterly report to MDOT in the amount of $26,000 for reimbursement of trunk line maintenance. Have been working on upgrades to the dog park and have recently installed a novice dog exercise course in the park. The sanitation contractor has begun the compost pickup as of April 1st. We've assisted with the setup and cleanup of the ice carving show and took down Christmas decor throughout the city, and assisted residents with transportation services through the Dial Ride programs with over 15,000 rides during the last quarter.
Thank you. Thank you. That's it? All right. Before we do the adoption of the agenda, there's a typo on 10A. It should say April 1st instead of April 2nd. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. So I need a motion to adopt the agenda.
Move to adopt the agenda as amended.
Support. Roll call?
Bunton,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Fournier,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Menser.
Yes. Okay, public participation. This is the time you may address this body. All we ask is that you give us your name, address, and you adhere to our 3-minute rule. So the mic is open.
Ruthie Stevenson, 69 Bain Street. First of all, I take umbrage that you moved from general business to consent agenda 10A. So we just gonna not listen to the voices of the people in this community. At our last meeting, Commissioner Crop made the comment that from in her area, it was general business already, and she didn't find anything wrong with it. Well, guess what? If they're going to put a grow operation in her community would be raising a whole bunch of hell, believe me. So why would you take something negative and put it in our community to change from central to general? Number one, we know exactly what is going on there. He wants to put a operation to sell marijuana in there. It's going to be a marijuana deal. We know that. Everybody in the community knows that. I don't care whether you smoke or not or whatever, that's your personal business. But that operation should not be in our community. When we wanted a street named after Martin Luther King, you wouldn't do that. That would have been positive. But you're going to stick something negative into it, as if our voices don't count. Well, evidently our voices don't count, according to Commissioner Metzer. At the rezoning meeting, she made the comment as we were walking out to one of the commissioners on that board. Thank you for coming to listen to that bullshit. Well, guess what? That bullshit is the First Amendment right to free speech, that we elected you as citizens to represent this community. And we feel that it's not being done anytime something negative is being impacted in this community. And you ought to be ashamed. You won't want it in your community, so why are you putting it in ours? We know exactly what's going to happen there. As I said before, I don't care whether you smoke or whatever. There's Gibraltar, there's Groesbeck. Why put it in the neighborhoods?
Thank you. Just to clarify, the reason it's on the consent, the second reading is always on the consent agenda on any item. So it wasn't just for this item. And it also doesn't allow grow operations.
Not selling a grow operation.
I'm
talking
just-
about a sale operation.
I'm just doing what I'm told.
Well, after that presentation, I
Name,
can see
please.
some Gloria Heller, 260 Cass, Mount Clemens, unfortunately. After that presentation, I can see that there's gonna be some efforts to sanitize what's going on, so let me give you a little idea what went on in my neighborhood. I don't see anybody up here having the trucks in their backyard that I got. Of course, the lady here's talking about the northeast, I'm talking about the northwest. Seems like the north side of town is, except for Mr. Campbell. Mr. Campbell has enough sense to pay attention to neighborhoods. The rest of you think we're a dumping ground. Really? What gives you that idea? Is it your attitude towards the people that live there? Is it your attitude towards the property? Well, maybe you'd have a better attitude if you just thought about what you're up here for. It's not self-service, it's public service. Get that straight.
Thank you. Next.
My name is Faye Van.
Mike, absolutely. There you go. Thank you.
I don't know if I can come behind all that. 42441 Walnut Street. Hey, that's my corner. And I don't want it. Point blank. I don't want it. We have enough problems on that street. And I don't want it. Now, if I have to do more, I will do more. And I have to let you know, I'm not a Mount Clemens resident. I'm a Clinton Township resident. But if I step this far, I'm in the city of Mount Clemens. So I don't want it.
Thank you.
Mayor Dempsey City Commission, George Kale, 180 Grand Ave. I had handed out a packet of information to the commissioners. I haven't seen some of you in years, some of you never. But I own a property right next to the Thomas Edison Depot for over 30 years. And I've got a track record with this city. As the mayor knows, she had recently invited me to come back into the community specific to non-motorized transportation items, which is the bike path stuff. I used to be known as the bike path guy. I had secured federal funding to do so at the mayor's insistence, so to speak, or at least encouragement. I did start working with county officials to see what we can do about that hole in the donut to help us address some of the issues at Shady Side Park, get the bike path up in the central business district, stimulate pedestrianism, do all those great things that we're here to do. I'd like to remind Commissioner Campbell, I had overheard him talking about looking up his family tree and found some young gentlemen here on that tree. We're all brothers and sisters on this planet. Whether we like it or not, we all breathe the same air, we all inhabit the same planet, we all cherish for our children's future. In regard to the zoning issue, the rezoning issue at 142 northbound Gratiot, Mayor Dempsey, you need to be standard correct. There was a second public reading and adoption of the medical marijuana ordinance. The first reading was, I believe, on December 3rd, second reading was on December 17th, so there were 2 public hearings, not 1. So I have some issues in regard to procedural aspects that are taking place in regard to the selection of permitting of this. And for the city administrator, whoever it is, I know we've got people wearing a lot of different hats, I'd like to find out who Commissioner Mentzer had found out about the number of applicants that were already in the process, if you will, or in the hopper. At the last city commission hearing, she had talked about the 7 applicants that were here, had looked over at Lisa to confirm that there were several applicants. So with any foreknowledge that she may have had at that time, she should have at least at the minimum recused herself from a vote if there was a submitted application for 142 northbound Gratiot for any type of medical marijuana facility at that location. It's a little bit a technical issue, but I would like to have that addressed at the next meeting. So the good news is I've decided to come back. Bad news is you're going to start seeing me around here a lot more, Mayor Dempsey and other city commissioners. I look forward to meeting you all a little bit more personally. I apologize for showing up and not so much sniping you with the information I gave you, but we're being sniped on this thing at northbound Gratiot. There are elements that are involved behind this that I wanted to share with you in a public forum, and it looks like that public forum will have to be a separate body than this city commission, because this has not been done properly. Thank you very much, and I appreciate it.
Anyone else?
Good evening. Raymond White, 425 Clinton River Drive, Mount Clemens. I would also like to express, one, the displeasure with the rezoning for 142 northbound Gratiot. But the other reason I'm here is because we were given bad information by our acting city manager when we visited and called concerning these Canadian geese. I actually received a letter that said there is nothing we can do. Well, there is. I have a license to destroy the eggs legally. When I attended the training, it was only 5 residents there, 200 people in the room. They were all municipality people. Golf courses, homeowners associations, anybody that had a problem with them. You get a license from the state that's trained by the federal government to allow us to destroy the eggs. That's how you fix it, legally. But the letter I got said we couldn't do anything. If we hadn't have kept looking for this information, we would have took what she said to be true, that we couldn't do anything. Well, it's not just a Mount Clemens problem. It's a whole state of Michigan problem. Canada, Wisconsin, we all have the same problem. But unless Mount Clemens gets behind it, because you own the most property where they nest, my license is not going to contribute as much as it would if you got your license. If you want the information later on how to get it, I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, seeing none.
Yes.
Joe E. Harrington, 152 Court Street, Mount Clemens. Early on, some meetings back at the zoning board meeting, I had mentioned that if Oliver Sand Corporation had did their homework before they purchased the building, before they spent over $100,000, and had found out what it is zoned for, what it is not zoned for, what the ordinance is, if they had done their homework, we wouldn't be discussing this now. But it appears to be that maybe they did do their homework. And maybe the fix was already in. Maybe they were assured that it would pass, it would go on, it would move on. But if they had done, and being experienced businessmen, you would think that they would do their homework before plucking down over $100,000 for a business and not knowing what it's zoned for, what the ordinance is, what they can do with it, what they can't do with it. And so since it appears that maybe they didn't, now we're here talking about this. But they should have did their homework first. And it appears that maybe the fix was already in.
Thank you.
Marilyn Hall, 300 Clinton River Drive, Mount Clemens, Michigan. I honestly feel we have enough negativity in this city without bringing something else needed. We've got enough alcoholics, we've got enough people driving crazy constantly without giving them something else to get high, to point cars at each one of us. We don't need people out there like that. They're gonna be there anyway, and we don't need to help it along. Mount Clemens doesn't need that. We have enough other positive things without bringing weed in. And unless you're a weed supporter, why? Why? Mount Clemens has enough positive without bringing the potheads to town.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Carl Hay, 540 Clinton River Drive. Just on another note, at another meeting, you guys are looking for ideas for Shady Side Park to do with the tennis court. Well, I take my daughter there almost every day, and the current facilities, which are supposed to be for either skateboarding or bike riding, all the kids use them for slides. So for slides, they just run up and down them and slide down them. So maybe there's a way that we could turn that area into a bunch of slides for the kids, since that's what they're using it for anyway, and maybe put it in protected so that way nobody's out there getting hurt, because there was a lot of kids there this weekend and not enough places for them to play, so they just all gathered in that area and they were just playing tag and running up and down them. Looked like they were having a great time. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. We have no administrative responses. Approval of the minutes from previous meeting. Need a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes from the work session and the regular session of 4/8/2019.
Support.
Roll call?
Campbell.
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Fournier.
Yes.
Crab.
Yes.
Menser.
Yes.
Bunton.
Yes.
General business. 9A, first reading and introduction of an amendment to the City of Mount Clemens registration and inspection of rental dwellings and rental unit ordinance 16.200. I have a motion.
Motion to approve the introduction and first reading of amendment to the City of Mount Clemens registration and inspection of rental dwellings and rental units ordinance number 16.200 and set the second reading and adoption for May 6, 2019.
Support.
The registration and inspection of rental dwellings and rental units ordinance first became effective on October 1st, 1990. Since that time, the ordinance has remained largely unchanged. In summary, the proposed amendments would result in the following: new and updated definitions, stronger language regarding houses sold on land contract and their status as rental units if certain conditions are not met, such as requiring the land contract to be recorded and a copy provided to the city, reducing the time frame in half by which owners must correct inspection deficiencies from 60 days to 30 days, including language clearly stating that certificates of compliance are valid for a maximum of 2 years, and including language that allows the city to place unpaid rental registration fees as a lien against the property, as opposed to the city having to go through district court to force payment. This ordinance has been reviewed by the city attorney.
Questions, comments?
I'm really glad to see that we're focused on tightening up and making the rental inspections a stronger process, and making it so that people who rent in the city of Mount Clemens are protected, because they can rest assured that those units have been inspected and are good living conditions.
Anyone else? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Fournier.
Yes.
Crab.
Yes.
Menser.
Yes.
Bunton.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Motion passed. 9B, request approval to enter into agreement with Simple Adventures LLC for the use of the city premises for the purpose of paddle sports rentals. Need a motion?
Move to approve the agreement between the City of Mount Clemens and Simple Adventures LLC for the use of the city premises for paddle sports rental, and to authorize the mayor and the city clerk to execute the same.
Do I have a support?
Support.
Administration is recommending that the city enter a concession agreement with Simple Adventures LLC for the use of city premises for paddle sport rentals. The enclosed concession agreement would run from May 1st, 2019 through December 31st, 2019. This agreement has been reviewed by the Harbor Commission and the city attorney, and can be terminated by either party with 30 days written notice.
Okay, comments, questions?
This is the agency, this is the agency that has been working with the city for several years.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyone else? Okay, seeing none, roll call, please.
Ford.
Yes.
Fournier.
Yes.
Crab.
Yes.
Menser.
Yes.
Bunton.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes. Motion passed. 9C, adoption of a resolution setting the fees for water and sewage lien exemption.
Move
Is that
to,
right?
excuse me, move to approve the adoption of the resolution settling the fees for water and sewage lien exemption as presented.
Support.
City administration is requesting the adoption of the attached resolution to set the fees for water and sewage lien exemption per MCL 123.165. If a written affidavit is filed by the owner landlord of a premises stating that the tenant is responsible for the payment of water and sewage charges, no lien for the unpaid charges shall accrue against the real estate. Therefore, in accordance with the amendment to the City of Mount Clemens Water Ordinance 25.116, Section 6, which was approved by the City Commission at their meeting of April 1st, 2019, and MCL 123.165, City Administration has proposed the attached fee schedule.
Any questions, comments? Okay, seeing none, roll call, please.
Fournier.
Yes.
Crab.
Yes.
Menser.
Yes.
Bunton.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Okay, motion passed. 9D, request to adopt the resolution for a charitable gaming license in support of recognizing Mount Clemens Rotary Foundation as a nonprofit organization. Need a motion? To adopt the local governing body resolution for charitable gaming licenses for the Mount Clemens Rotary Foundation. Support.
The Mount Clemens Rotary Foundation has been a vital partner in this community for 100 years. Rotary clubs strive to spread goodwill and peace throughout the improvement of health, the support of education, and the alleviation of poverty throughout the world. The Mount Clemens Rotary Club wishes to hold a fundraiser on May 17, 2019 as part of their annual fundraising efforts, and they are applying for a charitable gaming license from the state of Michigan to do so. As part of the application process, state law requires that the local government subdivision in which the organization is based recognize it by resolution as a nonprofit organization in the community. Mount Clemens Rotary Foundation is recognized by the Internal Revenue Service as a 501c3 organization.
Questions, comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Crop,
Yes.
Menser,
Yes.
Bunton,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Fournier.
Yes.
Motion passed. 9E, request to adopt a resolution for a charitable gaming license in support of recognizing Wirth Warriors as a nonprofit organization. Need a motion?
Move to adopt the local governing body resolution for charitable gaming licenses for the Wirth Warriors, Inc. / Special Olympics of Michigan.
Support.
Wirth Warriors snowmobile riders, whose home base has been in Mount Clemens since inception, have spent the past 37 years raising money to fund the Michigan Special Olympics Winter Games. In June 2018, Wirth Warriors officially became a standalone nonprofit organization, with all funds that are raised still directly supporting Special Olympics Michigan and the local chapters. In order to proceed with their fundraising efforts for the program, Wirth Warriors is applying for a charitable gaming license from the state of Michigan. As part of the application process, state law requires that the local governmental subdivision in which the organization is based recognize it by resolution as a nonprofit organization in the community. Wirth Warriors is recognized by the Internal Revenue Service as a 501c3 organization.
Questions, comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Menser,
Yes.
Bunton,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Fournier,
Yes.
Crop.
Yes.
Motion passed. Need a motion to approve purchases and payments of invoices.
Motion
to approve purchases and payment of invoices as presented.
Support. Any questions? Seeing none, roll call.
Bunton,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Fournier,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Menser.
Yes.
Consent agenda.
Move to present consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Roll call, please.
Campbell,
No.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Ford,
No.
Fournier,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Menser,
Yes.
Bunton.
No.
Motion passes 4-3.
City managers report.
City offices will be closed on Friday, April 19th in observance of Good Friday. Refuse pickup will be on schedule during the entire month of April. The Let's Move Festival of Races is coming to Mount Clemens on Saturday, April 27th, 2019 at 8 a.m. There will be intermittent road closures during the event. For more information or to register for the race, please visit lmmfor.com. The Farmers Market on North River Road will open for the season on Saturday, May 4th, 2019. Thereafter, the market will be open every Friday and Saturday from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. For more information, please contact 586-493-7600. Applications for the Art of the Year Awards are now available in the latest issue of the Clementine's newsletter, as well as at City Hall. Applications should be returned to the Mount Clemens Beautification Commission, care of Department of Public Services, 95 Eldridge, until July 19th, 2019. The city will celebrate Arbor Week April 21st through April 27th and Arbor Day on April 26, 2019. The Department of Public Services and Beautification Committee with the third grade students of Seminole Elementary School will plant our nation's tree, a Regal Prince oak tree. And the Harrington Street resurfacing project is scheduled to begin on April 22nd, 2019. The project is scheduled to be complete by the end of June. Westbound traffic only will be maintained throughout the duration of the project. Please seek an alternate route to avoid the area.
Questions from Commissioner Pop?
Can we nominate, can people nominate more than 1 yard of the year?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
Commissioner comments? Commissioner Campbell?
I would just like to thank city administration for the ordinance strengthening for the inspection of rental dwellings. I think it's a win-win situation for residents and the people that will be moving into these rental properties. So thank you very much for that.
Commissioner Parker?
I would like to thank everyone who came out to my coffee talks this last week. It was a really good turnout for both of them, and I appreciate you taking the time to do that. I have 2 May dates, May 14th at 9:30 a.m. at John's Family Grill, and May 16th, 6:30 p.m. John's Family Grill. So if you have any questions or just want to talk about the current events of Mount Clemens, come and join us for coffee. I would also like to thank Lila and David Tercel for the donation of the Lucas chest compression. My stepdad, when I was 19, passed away at his work in, he was an electrician at General Motors. And they believe if there would have been an AED or some type of life-saving device at that time, which was before those devices, that, you know, there may have been a different outcome. So I really appreciate and feel the impact of that. So thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you. Commissioner Button?
I ditto that as well. And moving on, congratulations to the water plant. We had a tour of the water plant, and we found out with the aged and antiquated equipment that they have, they do an awesome job, and they produce good water for the city of Mount Clemens. We are in the process of considering budget at this time, and I brought it up then and I mention it now, and I hope that we can continue to look at it until we can find a way to give back to the citizens of Mount Clemens. We were headed for an emergency financial manager, and the citizens of Mount Clemens voted to increase their tax base, the millage, to the max in order to keep the city out of danger. And it's time now to give back to the city, or to the citizens of the city, some degree of relief, just at least a token to say thank you for your commitment, for giving us the opportunity to save our city from going into a emergency financial manager. I am on the Mount Clemens Employee Systems Board of Trustees, and I would like to take a moment to thank Loomis Sales and the Board of Trustees for the excellent management of the retirement fund. Our retirement fund is 96% funded. The average for the state is 75% funded. The board is to be commended for their stewardship. Our National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day will take place this Saturday, not this Saturday, but Saturday, April the 27th, 2019, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Wilson Gym, and that's located at 58 South Wilson, Mount Clemens. We ask you to bring your unused, unwanted, expired prescription drugs to the Mount Clemens Community Coalition sponsored drug take-back event so that they can be gotten rid of in a proper manner. A lot of what happens is people, young people or people get into medicine cabinets and they discover drugs and that are not being used. They've been in there for a while, and they say, well, you know, nobody's going to miss these, so they start taking them, and that's their introduction to drug abuse. We get it to us, and we will get it in the hands of the Sheriff Department, and they will dispose of them properly. The drug take-back brought in over 900,000 pounds of drugs nationwide last year. That's a lot of stuff off the market. Commissioner comments. Bizarre and unusual or unique holidays for the month of April. Month-long celebrations, Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and that's very important. but also National Humor Month, National Lawn and Garden Month, Stress Awareness Month, Keep America Beautiful Month. Some of the dates that you want to consider. Probably the ones that are most easily identified is April 19th, and that's Good Friday. In the Christian faith, it is the day that Jesus Christ died on the cross in human form. It is also the last days of fasting for the long Lenten season. And of course, April 21st is Easter Sunday. On the April 15th, it's Patriots' Day. It commemorates the battle between, let me do that again. It commemorates the Battle of Lexington and Concord on April 19th, 1775. This battle began the Revolutionary War and the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. We can't miss the fact that April 15th is tax day, and if you didn't get your stuff in, well, you'll be hearing from somebody. April 15th is also Jackie Robinson's Day, a day honoring Jackie Robinson as he broke the Major League Baseball color barrier when he debuted with the Brooklyn Dodgers on April 15th, 1947. April 20th, Husband Appreciation Day. It is a day to show appreciation for the husbands that are not fathers. In a marriage where there are children, we celebrate Father's Day, but this day is to recognize husbands that are not fathers. April 27th is National Babe Ruth Day, a day honoring one of baseball's greatest players ever. In 1947, they set this up and started the honor. And on April 30th, National Honesty Day. I wish I could mail that to our national politicians. With that also, I'd like to give you the Commissioner Wisdom for the night. And it's kind of pertinent. I started wearing my wife's glasses because she wanted me to see things her way. Jason Feinberg. And with that, we'll say good night.
Thank you. Commissioner Fournier. I also want to congratulate Mr. and Mrs. Tercel. It was a very generous gift and very much appreciated, especially by our residents. So thank you very much. And I also am very happy about the rental ordinance. Strengthening those ordinances is important. We have a lot of rental property in our city, and we need to keep it up as best we can. And with that, I wish everyone that celebrates it a happy Easter and have a nice next couple weeks. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Ford.
The vote tonight does not guarantee those people a license. There's a process they have to go through. They have to meet a lot of criteria. So don't say it's a dispensary, because it's not.
That's right. Thank you. Commissioner Manser.
And for piggybacking on that, there is a board that approves the licenses. I am not on the board, okay? And that's the only thing I'm gonna address. I wanted to give a shout out to our fire department for the rescue of 8 people Sunday night, 3:30 in the morning, or Sunday morning, for the fire on Hubbard. That was a multi-unit dwelling. That was a pretty big fire. Lieutenant Jawar, firefighters Buscano and Ringstadt did a heck of a job running that scene, and saved 8 lives. That was because of their skill, their dedication, and their training. So we have much to thank them for. In addition, as several people have mentioned, the Lucas 3.1 is going to be a wonderful thing for residents. For those of you that don't know, that machine will give chest compressions at a perfect rate that will help save lives of people like Commissioner Kropp's relative that will help save them, that need it for CPR. So in behalf of the residents, I know the mayor already read you a proclamation, but in behalf of the residents, in behalf of our firefighters, we really appreciate your generosity. May 1st is considered Loyalty Day. This was a tradition that started back in 1921, and it was a tradition for people to come together with our veterans to show patriotism and pride in our nation. So if you see a veteran on May 1, please give them your thanks. And I want to give a shout out to Mary Campbell. Mary Campbell is a preschool special needs teacher at King Academy. She has been voted the Mount Clemens representative as the Macomb County Teacher of the Year. So congratulations to her. Good things are going on in our schools. And that's what I have tonight.
Thank you. Ditto again. Thank you so much for your contribution. The residents will be very pleased, I'm sure. We did finish our budget, and I want to thank all of the department heads and, of course, our city managers here for the time and effort they put into putting a balanced budget together. It's not always easy to do that, especially in our circumstances that we've had here for years in the city, when it's a tough job to do. So I appreciate all your hard work, and thank you so much for giving us a balanced budget again. And with that, I need a motion to adjourn. Support. All those in favor, aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned.